Hello and welcome to Flexible Games, where we are working on robotics. I'm finishing up the build we had from last episode to get our robots up and running. I sped up this video. It's going a little bit faster than normal speed, so therefore I had to cancel the sound because it sounds like a squeaky voice. This is the last episode I have to do narration on. I'm just sorting out the kinks. I'm figuring out that these aren't building because they're not able to reach those circuits, so I'm going to do some magic with the underground belt so I can get to the circuits. The same thing for the next one. Circuits are being delivered. So I'm looking at the production, just making sure everything is going to go right. We've already got some construction robots built. I'm looking at some research now. I'm trying to find the RoboPorts. I have both Bob's Mods Logistics and Dytech Logistics going, so I've got two different sets. I'm trying to figure out which set I want to build, which set is cheaper to research, and I settle on Dytech's method. I've done Bob's Mods where you have to build all the different hatches and all that stuff, and I have systems that are able to do that. But I settle on Dytech's. The end result is the same, the coverage area and everything. And I'm going with the assumption, like with almost every other machine in Factorio, that you need the previous level in order to craft the next level. So I'm going by that assumption. And I see that I'm going to need a lot of the advanced circuits. So as a kind of an aside, I want to create a little system that starts to build those advanced circuits using the rubber that we've got already being made. And the advanced circuits take bundled wire, which takes red and green, and zinc and rubber. So we're going to be using quite a lot of zinc. Now that I think about it, it would have been probably a wise move to put zinc on the bus. Just setting up all the recipes. So I'm going to bring the rubber over. I'm going to do a request for zinc. Make sure there's a good buffer in there. Get the rubber delivered. I'm going to need copper and circuits. Red and greens take circuits, which are right nearby. And time to bring some copper down. Trying to line everything up. I don't want to lose my point of my mouse, so I place like a temporary belt just to be able to manage everything. You see the night vision kick on there, which allowed me everybody to see, which is so nice. That night vision mod is a lifesaver when you're trying to do videos. And copper is sorted out. Now all we need is some rubber and some zinc. And I just kind of toss the zinc I have in there and produce a chest. Now we need the actual circuits. So we're going to need that bundled wire, and we're going to need blue. And we have blue right nearby I can take a line from. And just place the assembler in the perfect position. Make sure everything has power. We are good to go. We now have, well, we need zinc, of course. And I don't have any zinc. I realize I don't have any zinc. like, oh, zinc. I'll take that inserter away, don't need it. I'm looking at this, I'm noticing that it didn't actually craft any logistics robots, so I'm checking the system, sort of debugging the process, looking at who doesn't have ingredients, and I realized I don't have any frames. I missed an inserter. So now I've got 10 logistics robots. We have achieved robots. It's so nice. But we need a RoboPort. So again, I'm looking to make sure I'm using the right one, seeing what the chain is. You know, you got to start with the base. Again, I'm going with the assumption that we need all previous levels, and I don't take that extra heartbeat to really look at the ingredients. I look at the main ones. I'm looking at lead, I'm looking at tungsten, but I'm not realizing the previous levels are not needed to build the next level. I could go right into building the one that I'm going for. I decided to build it above the bus as we're just encroaching so perilously. So here I'm setting up all three versions, and I get the system going quite a ways. So with the ingredients, I know I'm going to need tungsten gears and lead gears. So I'm setting up those assemblers, getting a buffer chest, or not a buffer chest, a requester chest for the actual raw ingredients. So I need tungsten in one, and lead in the other. Set up the inserters, get the power going. Not sure at which point I realize that I actually don't need. I mean, I know I set all these up. So I'm looking at steel next. And then I'm looking at circuits. And I'm looking at the ingredients, and it's like, I say, wait a second. My mind hasn't really registered yet that I didn't see the previous levels on there. Sometimes you go ahead with an assumption, and it's the wrong assumption. I know it's making the first one, and I see if it places it, and I realize, oh my god, it doesn't require the next level, or the previous level. It doesn't require it. It's so rare in Factorio to run into something that doesn't require a previous level, so I go ahead and just remove the ingredients because I realize I don't need it. So I do need tungsten, of course. I go down to see how many, and I realize I don't have any zinc either. So here I am running across my base, zipping down the line when I can, and I want to grab some zinc, and I just control click the chest just to grab it all. So I run down to where our processors are going, and I fill it up with zinc. I realize I don't have an output chest, so there's an output chest. Place all the zinc in there. But the rubber that I took that I'm not going to use, so I grabbed the first stack. I will grab the first stack of control units. I'm going to run and get some tungsten now. Again, this is at basically plus 50% speed. So I look at the tungsten, I just, again, grab the full chest's worth of tungsten. Try to keep my inventory as little as I can just for that purpose, so I can really move a lot of material fast. Set up another requester chest for the advanced circuits. I want to set it a little high, not too high. And I want an output chest. So I run back down. I'm going to grab as many stacks, full stacks of those as I can. And our blue circuits have just died from this process. But there we go. Our first RoboPort is on its way. So I want to grab the bots that I can. I've got 10 bots of each. Which is just enough to get it kick-started. And there's our first 2 RoboPorts ready to go. The supply on these is pretty high. So I go ahead and place the first one, just covering as much as possible in my base. This path is nice. It goes quite a ways. And I kind of zip around and look to see where it's going to come out. You can see our belt is basically full of obsidian now because our ardite and our cobalt have backed up. So now it's all that's running is obsidian. But soon enough it will. So I grab some obsidian. I misclicked the chest and it placed a smaller chest, and it grabbed a bunch of obsidian that I didn't really need all that much. Now these things are going to drain a lot of power, so it's going to be kind of tricky. So I unleash the bots. First I got to find them. There's some bots. They immediately get to work. They immediately tell me that there are things that are damaged that need to be fixed. So I notice this. I grab some more engine units just to kickstart the bots a little bit more. And I go and just dump them all in there. Kind of favoring the logistics side of things. Because the more of those bots we have, the more we can make. And I do a request for advanced circuits. Don't need too many of those. Copy and paste the setting. And the bots have started to get everything running. It's so nice. So nice having the bots. Just a couple more bots. I know a lot of people put RoboPorts right on the bot production and just feed them bots, but I found that can quickly overwhelm a system where the bots actually don't have anywhere to char or to lay down and rest for a little bit. They all get stuck out because as they get sent out, they get replaced, and there's nothing much we can do. So I'm looking to expand our coverage area. I don't want to get too high because there are a lot of biters up there. So I figure better be safe than aggro the biters unnecessarily. So now we have coverage up in our gem area, where we have, obsidian requests and gem supply. And I dumped the obsidian I got before in there. Well, that'll do it for this episode. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.